So ever since the overturning of Roe versus Wade, and maybe even a little before then, but especially since, it seems that more and more women are having their rights whittled away, privacy invaded, etc., all around their reproductive history, which, my opinion, is wrong. So today's latest is, as you can see from the bottom, Florida. Here you go. Florida athletes may soon be required to submit their menstrual history to school. This is for high school girls. Okay. So right now there are a handful of questions on a form. These questions have been there for 20 years regarding um, the girls, history, menstrual cycles, etc. And right now those are optional, but they're looking to change that to make it mandatory. And there are a couple ways that you could look at this. So, number one, the questions that we're talking about here are, I'll scroll down and take a look at this. It would ask, you can see it down here where the mouse is, what age they had the first menstrual period, their most recent period, and how many periods the student has had in the past 12 months. Okay. To me, that's incredibly invasive, and it's none of their damn business. I have a daughter. She's not at that age yet, but if she was, it would still be none of their business. To me, there is no reason that I can think of why playing high school sports would require you to have that information, why the coaches, the schools, or anybody other than a doctor or possibly your parents, should the girl choose to share that, would need to have that information. There's also another aspect of this, though. It could also be an attack on the LGBTQ community, specifically trans people, people who were not born female, people who have transitioned to female or identify as female, so identify as girls. It can also be affecting them. Now, that's one argument that the head of PRISM in Florida made. I don't know if I agree with that personally, because it seems like one question could take care of that. The head of PRISM said basically that it was another way to add stigma and demonize the trans community. And maybe it is. I'm not saying it is. If I'm wrong on that, and it really is a way to do that, please let me know in the comments how, because I'm always open to learn. But to me, it seems like that question could be combated with just by saying, what was your gender at birth? If they were going to try to combat that. But to ask what age you first had it, what age you had your first period, how many you've had, your most recent, etc., that seems incredibly invasive, and it seems like there might be something else at hand. As we know, in a lot of these southern states, I live in Tennessee, there have been more and more moves and measures to, ban any type of abortion with little to no exception. Tennessee currently, until at least as of now, July 1st, 2023, has no exception. Starting in July, Tennessee will allow an exception for rape and incest, because that was not there before. But it only gives girls, although the way the bill reads is that it's women 12 and under, even though they're girls. And I think that verbiage is deliberate. Get 10 weeks, and then girls, women, it says in the verbiage, 13 and older get 8 weeks in order to do an abortion. And that's a completely different video, and one that I did rant on earlier. So you can go back and take a look at that video if you want. But for this, I can't think of any reason other than control for this. This seems like it's something that would also add stigma and demonize girls as well. This is none of anybody's business. It's infuriating where some lawmakers think that they have the right to this information, and the more and more people that keep voting for the individuals who feel this way, who are supportive of this, they are problems too, because I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican, you can be either one, but you don't need to know this type of information. This goes far beyond your typical Democrat or Republican rhetoric. This goes into something completely different, into, in my opinion, extremism. When we talk about, and I will only go down this rabbit hole for just a quick second. I had a live last night, and one of the things we talked about with my wife too. How long have women had equal, using air quotes here, rights? How long? And I know you can say, no, we've never had equal rights. And that's probably true to a large degree. But that being said, where there was more equality or the most equality, I would say it was up to a couple years ago, when, before Roe v. Wade was overturned. Uh, but it used to be that you couldn't have your own bank account without your husband. You couldn't do anything regarding your reproductive health without your husband's permission. You couldn't get your tube side unless it was okay with your husband or your partner or whoever. And it's just really, you could legally assault your wife, and it was not considered to be a crime up until 1993. Spousal abuse in that way did not exist. So that was since 1993. This is, y'all, that is not that long ago. That's 30 years ago this year. And I feel like in these last couple of years, we have now taken everything that's come in stride, and it's been rolled back so far. And it's all about control. It's all about control. And that is my opinion on that. But this is a challenge. And I'm going to be doing another video here shortly about something that's going on in Minnesota. So that women need to know about and to stay safe. But anyways, that being said, hopefully you found this valuable. I'm trying to grow this channel. So if you did see this and you don't subscribe to me already, please consider doing so. Would love to have you on board. We talk a lot about a lot of things here, a lot of controversial issues, a lot of news stories, true crime, murder. So hopefully you will stick around and join us for a little while.